Hey, 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 good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning, Mary's going to start with some weather and water, and then we're going to move on to some closures and bear warnings in the Smokies, and then we have some other news about hikers, mountain bikers, outdoor enthusiasts, accidents, deaths, missing people. And then after, we'll talk about some other stuff. And so, Mary, here you go, my friend.
Thank you, Donald.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Here in Blairsville right now, it is 72 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today, we're going to look at a high of 87 degrees with sunshine and clouds mixed, with winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. And then tonight, 69 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and the winds will be light and variable. Up on Blood Mountain today, we're looking at a high of 78 degrees with temperatures falling to 74 in the afternoon. There is a slight chance of a rain shower between 8 and 9 a.m., and then a chance of showers and thunderstorms. There will be some sunshine also. Winds are 5 to 10 miles per hour and a 30% chance of rain. And then tonight, 67 degrees, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 1 a.m. It will be partly cloudy, 5-mile-per-hour winds with a 30% chance of rain. So water is good on the trail for the most part. However, some of the sources, especially the seasonals, are starting to dry up a bit. Hogpen Gap is dry. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter before you continue on to Justice Creek as you hike north. That is a dry spot always as you go through there, but Justice Creek will have water. Slaughter Creek, I have not been updated on recently in a little over a week. There was a little bit of water there. This is before you climb north over Blood Mountain, but I don't know the status of it at the moment. So make sure you grab some water before there just in case. As we get updated, we will let you know. It is snake time again, so make sure you're checking rocks, logs, stumps before you sit. Make sure you're careful when you're picking anything up off the ground. They can camouflage very well. The riders I picked up at Miller Gap yesterday and brought back to their vehicle at Springer Mountain, they were telling me that they saw a snake had just crossed the trail. It was on the other side. It didn't bother them at all. They weren't sure if it was a rattlesnake or not, but the description he gave me, it probably was. He said it was probably as big around as his arm, and it had the pattern that he described would be a rattlesnake, but really big snake. So, when we were almost to Springer, there was a rattlesnake going across the road, and they're super beautiful. The sun will shine down on them and they sparkle, and I like watching them contract and expand because they're beautiful creatures. We just have to respect what they can do if we get too close. And of course, that is just them protecting themselves. All right, so now going on to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. We're staying updated with closures and warnings for bears up there. Right now, none of the shelters are closed for bear activity. Campsites 90, 23, and 96 are closed at the moment for bear activity. And then the bear warnings are Charlie's Bunyan and warnings at campsites 21, 86, 15, 64, and 65. So let's remember these areas that have been reopened. Just because they've been reopened doesn't mean there's not bear activity. Let's just be cautious and practice good, leave no trace. And things will be better for everyone out there. All right, so now I am going to turn this over to Donald, and he's going to talk about some other things that are going on out here. Donald?
All right. Thank you. All right, let's see what we have going on. So, I was just reading this. All right, and so Crater Lake, Oregon, we had a rescue. So a hiker was rescued from the waterline off Crater Lake Sunday morning after hikers heard his calls the night before. They heard him yelling, man, and so he was screaming for help. This man was visiting from Delaware and supposedly had a broken leg. Did you read this whole article thoroughly?
Yeah, I did.
It's kind of confusing, actually, because let me read on here. I was actually I couldn't understand. So keep in mind he has a broken leg now, okay? That's why he's screaming and he can't. He's screaming for people and help. All right, so due to the darkness and steep terrain, the search was paused until Sunday morning. Crews heard the man yell, but struggled to locate this dude. He eventually made contact with a worker in a boat who brought him to the dock for evaluation. Here, he refused further transport.
That I don't understand. You've got a broken leg.
Dude has a broken leg, man. I don't get that part, man. Unless it was like his, what is this, the tibia and fibia. I believe you can break one of them and still walk on the other, but I don't know, man. Anyways,
I've never had a broken leg, so I can't tell you what it's like.
definitely, I don't
understand that.
I don't understand that. I don't know how he refused further transport and walked off to his car, man. I'm blown away by that. Maybe he didn't have a broken leg. They didn't.
Maybe not.
Anyway, so Klamath County Sheriff's Office said the man was not particularly cooperative with responders and did not provide many details how he ended up at the waterline. He was located at Discovery Point, 1 mile from his vehicle at the Waterman Point. Klamath County Sheriff's Office said these missions highlight the danger and complexity of remote rescues, even when they're a mile away, man. A mile's actually quite far in the woods, man. You know what I mean, dude? That could be up and over a couple hills.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, and so that's an interesting article. I had to read it a couple times, man, because I saw the broken leg and then
It
then
caught
he's
me there too, yeah.
and then he's just walking off, man. I'm just okay. All right, and so a hiker was found. Okay, so next, oh, I did that one yesterday. All right. And so, Portland, Oregon, the search for a mountain biker who went missing late Friday night in the Mount Hood National Forest continues. Ralph Sawyer, who was reported missing after a mountain biking trip near Trillium Lake shortly after midnight Saturday, a search group found his vehicle with his cell phone inside the car. The roads are rocky, the terrain is steep, and the vegetation is very thick. He is 6'1" with brown hair and was last seen wearing an orange bike helmet, blue shirt, and black riding shorts, or biking shorts. Anyone with information, call Clackamas County Sheriff Tip Line at 503-723-4949 or email.
They didn't give an
No email address
though.
was given.
So I guess maybe if you look up the sheriff's office,
Yeah.
maybe it provides one. That's what I assumed.
Yeah, and that's the Clackamas, Clackamas County Sheriff. And if anyone out west, man, or anyone's visiting out there sees anything involved in this, you can just look up the Clackamas County Sheriff's Department and find out. I'm sure that people will call 911 anyway, so I would anyways. All right.
I don't think it was a very good idea to leave his cell phone in his car.
No, definitely
You know,
not.
That leaves you with no way to communicate when you need help. I mean,
I don't think this was a hiker.
no.
Yeah,
No.
I'm gathering that he probably wasn't a hiker. Who knows what he was doing out there. All right, and so bear encounter believed to be a grizzly. Troy, Montana mountain biker safely managed an encounter with a bear while riding on the Starry Goat Trail near Troy last week. The biker noticed a bear approaching along the trail. He got off his bike and retrieved his bear spray, discharging it when the bear came close. The bear reacted immediately and retreated into the woods about 20 yards, sitting under a tree. The biker continued on with no further incident. The trail remains open, but users are urged to remain cautious of possible bear activity, guys. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing here for a subject, or from what we've been doing the last couple days, like the bear safety, and the day before, I can't remember what we did, but
We did ticks.
oh yeah, ticks. And so I want to talk about people that try to push too many miles when they're new. Now, this doesn't apply to people that have been out here pushing miles for years or, has a little bit of experience or miles under their belt. This applies to people that are new, that are actually asking questions in rooms where people are giving answers. There's like 100 different answers, and people, they don't know what they're doing. They absolutely do not know what they're doing, and all those answers confuse people. So you get a group like we did yesterday. We had 2 guys, man, that had scheduled on Friday, I believe, and they were coming up. And, this is another thing that I see a lot of. There's just too many answers and not enough businesses actually answering the questions. And, I see a lot of people, they talk to shuttle drivers that they don't work like Mary and I do. And there's others that work like us. Now, we suggest to people to walk away from their car. We can pick them up wherever along the line. We usually work with the people a little bit, find out what their experience is, their experience level, and then go from there. If they ask us like, how many miles do you think I should do? Well, let's do this, man. You've never been out here. Hey, walk away from your vehicle. Let's say you walk 30 miles. You got 4 days, man. Let's say you're going to Neil Gap. That's a good, the 4th day, they usually come out of the woods, man. You can do 8 and 8, and then 7 or whatever, the 6th, the last day. The thing is, man, or you can do 10, 10, and 10, and whatever you want to do, man. But that's a good bite. That's a good mileage to try to make your goal as a beginner. And I tell people, I'm like, hey man, I would park at the beginning of your hike. Let's set up a time at like Neil Gap or whatever we decide is a good spot, and then walk away from your car. And if you don't make it, guess what, man? We can pick you up anywhere along the line. That way you can apply your shuttle ride to the money you've given us anyways. And not only that, and we've done this for years. This is how we actually handle stuff. And so we've done it for years and it works out really well. I see too many people having answers for businesses and they really shouldn't. You know what I mean, man? You should let the businesses take care of that. We know what's going on. And so we tell people, walk away from your car. If you don't make it to your pickup spot, the agreed pickup spot, no worries, man. You can call us the night before. You already know you want to get off trail anyways, man. That tingle starts to happen, man. And, before you know it, you're calling someone, man. And most people, man, do not make it back to their car because they try to bite off these huge miles because they see other people talking about doing 12-mile days, double shelters, or whatever they're going to do, man. They're doing 20s, whatever. I did this, I did that. But, man, you can't
base your hike on everybody else.
You can't, man. You have to base it on what your experience level is. Like I was saying, there's a lot of things that can affect that, man. There can be a lot of people are dehydrated before they even come out here. They get sick before they even make it to their car, or they bite off like we had people yesterday that started at Springer Mountain. They made it to Miller Gap, man. They thought they were going to get to Albert Mountain, which is mile 100 by Friday. So I think they gave themselves, what day did they start? Monday?
They started on Monday.
Okay,
yes.
So they started on Monday with no tent. They thought they were going to make it shelter to shelter, or they would have had to have gone 3 shelters, every 3 shelters to make it to Albert Mountain by Friday. So, and I don't know what time they wanted to come out on Friday, but those are 20-mile days, period. So when you get out here on Monday, you need to get out here first thing in the morning and start ripping miles and go 3 shelters.
Well, they did tell me that they started at 12 noon on Monday,
Oh
and
my
we
God.
were scheduled to pick them up at Albert Mountain on Friday at 12 noon.
Okay, so there you go, man. They needed to do 20-mile days, man. They would have been walking into the night, man, probably. Definitely, they only actually made it to Miller Gap where they decided that they had bit off way too much, man, and needed an emergency extraction. It was raining.
Thunder.
Yeah, and they were not prepared at all. They did not bring a tent, man, and so the first day they only made it to
They
Cooper
made
Gap,
it to
correct?
Cooper Gap,
Which is
and
mile, I think, 12 or 10 or
yeah,
something.
they were trying to, because of, they wanted to go to the shelters, but that was as far as they got, and they said they didn't get in there till dark. And they were just grateful that it didn't rain that night.
Also, the tools they had, the maps, also told them the elevation gains from Springer Mountain to what was it? Where they were was 100.
They were telling, it was saying 100 feet of elevation.
I think they read it
They said it
wrong.
was misleading. So I don't know if they read it wrong. I don't know what map they looked at, but I told them the apps to check out and with the maps and everything, and they're going to look into it so they can have a little bit better idea of what is actually out here.
Yeah, and so when they called me, they were frantic, and they didn't know where they were. I know this trail pretty good in Georgia, man, so I know a lot of the, just everything, man. So I know, what are they called, landmarks, and so I asked them if they had gone past Lands Creek, if they crossed a little bridge over the stream, and they said yes, but as we started to talk more, I started to figure out that they didn't pass those spots. And so there's a trail called the Dockery Lake Trail, and at that trailhead where the trail intersects with the AT a little bit past Woody Gap, there's a trail called you can walk down to Miller Gap. Years ago, this wasn't it wasn't a marked out trail. You pretty much have to goat trail it up to the AT. What I usually do with people, man, is I drop a pin and I tell people to walk to this pin from the Dockery Lake Trail sign. And so that's what I did with these guys yesterday. I told them to go back to the Dockery because they remembered seeing the Dockery Lake Trail sign. I told them to backtrack to that and then head down to the parking area where I dropped the pin where Mary would meet them. Now, the issue with these guys, man, is they were trying to bite off way too much, man. And I don't remember talking to them on Friday, but I do know this. I probably told them to walk away from their car, which was because I think they were trying to bite off all that. And I was like, this is probably the best route. I don't remember what I said to them, but it seems like that's what happened. But they did go back to Springer Mountain. They are going back to think things through, check stuff out, and come back out here and tackle it again. Choosing this can also be, so throughout the years, Mary and I have both encountered this. A lot of people will, they'll be disappointed because, and these are their exact words, because I told my friends, I told my family members, I told everyone that I was going to go to this point and they're going to be disappointed, and then it brings them down. Man, this shouldn't be about anyone but yourself. No one else. Yourself, man. That's it, man. Don't shoot for high expectations like that, man. Just come out here with an open mind thinking, I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to hike as far as I can, and when I'm done, I'm done. It doesn't matter what other people think. It's what you think and what you got out of this, man.
One of them did say to me, I spent the entire time looking at my feet.
Yeah.
Because, the rate at which they were hiking,
there was no time to
couldn't
do anything.
anything else besides look at your feet to make sure you weren't falling and
Tripping over
over
things.
things. Yeah, so definitely. And that's something I hear from people over the years, looking at their feet. They didn't get to look around because they're always in a hurry to meet other people's goals, not their
Yeah.
own, because they feel like they have to,
Yeah.
like, oh, I read this and you should do 20 miles, or I read that 15 miles, or you're not a real hiker if you don't, all the
I don't
things
understand
we hear.
that, man.
I don't either.
I don't understand that mentality. And it's too bad that people actually feel that way when they come out here. We always try to correct that. Whenever people say that stuff to us, we're where everyone starts, man. There's a reason why we chose Georgia to start our business at 10 years ago, or whatever. There's a reason why, man, and it's because everyone starts here. This is the spot where it all begins, man. And so we talk to a lot of people that are just beginning, and there's a certain way you have to talk to them, man. A lot of them, like 80 to 90% of them, well, a lot of them, man, I'm not going to say a percentage because I actually don't know, but I do know this, that throughout the years, man, we have helped so many people with that attitude that I need to do this for someone else. We've helped them change their minds and change their views, man, and just help them hike, man. And it's like, dude, you're not going to reach that point. It's not a realistic goal, man, until you get some legs under you, bro. Mm-hmm. You don't have the experience. You can't just come out here. You don't get up under a bench press, dude, and do 300 pounds if you've never lifted, man. It just doesn't happen, dude. You gotta get there and earn the weight, man. And so it takes time. It takes time, man. And it's the same thing with anything we do. When we ride a bike, when we play video games, whatever it may be, surfing, dirt bikes, I don't know, man. Whatever it is, dude, it takes time to get there, man.
That's right.
I'm completely out of shape, and I'm just starting to work out again, man, and, get back on trail. I can barely do 6 miles, man, without being in pain. So, it takes time. There was a time I could do over 20 miles a day consecutively, but I can't anymore. And that's just the way it is. I hear a lot of old guys come out here, 2 hours in the military and did this and that. I'm like, well, when, dude? They got a stomach out to here, man. And, they're all puffy with triple chins. And I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating. But, they're old with dad bods. And I'm not putting anyone down. We're all like that, man, when we get older. If we don't keep up on our bodies, man, we just get, that way. And so they'll come out and they're like, I was in the military and I used to do triathlons and this and that. And then, they get out here and they start hiking and they realize, man, 20 years ago being in the military and doing that shit, dude, and carrying 70-pound packs, man, you definitely don't need to carry a 70-pound pack out here. You don't even need to carry a 20-pound pack. But my point is, man, it takes time, man. I don't care if you were, remember the Lost and what's that? Naked and Afraid chick, man. Wow, dude. I always bring her up, man, because she thought she was something special, man, and she got out here and did not even get a mile in, man. We turned around and went back and picked her up. Same thing happened on Naked and Afraid, too, man. She left the show in like a day or two, ditched her boy, man, out there in Africa or something. But I don't care who you are. I just don't care, man. It takes time. Unless you got miles under your belt. Now I'm talking about newer hikers again.
That's right.
I don't care who you are, man. It takes time, dude, to get those miles, so you can actually start pushing some miles, man. It's just the way it is. So don't get down on yourself, man, because you can't do the miles. Anyways, that was a rough idea on what I actually want to do for that subject right there. We're gonna do we'll sit down tomorrow and talk more about it and have some stuff written down. For now, let's get this day rocking. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No.
All right. If anyone needs anything at all, give Mary and I a jingle. We're here for you. All right. One love, kids. Peace.